whoop, whoop. Here we go. Finally. Got it. Finally. Here we go. Here we go. Yo. Here we go. Yo. Here we go. Coming live on YouTube. Finally. Yay! I'm a little bit late because I was in my outside bath and it wasn't hot enough to begin with. And then I ended up running out of, oh, it's not letting me do this. There we go. Running out of hot water. I ran out of hot water at the end of my bath and it was already getting chilly because I live in the mountains. And I said, what the hell's going on? And I get really cold, ridiculously easy, like shivering, teeth shattering, completely like freezing. And it's a thing. Not, I hate it, but it is what it is. So especially when wet. And anyway, I didn't have barely any warm. I had warm water to rinse off with, but I could not take a shower. And then I had to go and deal with what was going on. And now my cat's screaming at me. I did talk to the plumber. He wanted to come right now, but I'm like, look, I'm supposed to be live. I'm already running late. Hey, you need to stop it. Nessie, hey. Pretty boy's yelling at me. Jeanette, boo, boo, boo. Yes, cold bath at the end and cold water, not cold, but barely warm. So anyway, plumber's coming tomorrow. So I'm a couple minutes late because of that. I did not have any trouble getting on live today. It didn't ask me to verify like it did yesterday. Yesterday was, wow, that was a thing yesterday for sure. But bear with me 1 second, everybody. I am so sorry. I have been outside and then I came inside. I've been doing this, so I have not checked in on the cats, and I knew this was going to happen. But everything got kind of messed up when I had to deal with stuff I wasn't planning on. Hi. Why are we losing our shit? Want to come out there? Why don't you go out there? Come on. Go on. There you go. Cats that usually will freak out because of him are not inside, and this way he can run around, get a different look at what's going on. So how is everybody? Hello. Thanks for being here with me, loves. Thank you so much. Happy Mercury retrograde. I love Mercury retrograde. Who loves Mercury retrograde? Let's hear it for Mercury retrograde. Do you love Mercury retrograde? I hope you do, but tell me how you really feel. I want to know. And if you don't love Mercury retrograde, I'd like to turn you around on that. Owls are in full effect, and so is the unicorn. BTW. Oh, my screen is being mirrored. I did not mean that. That trips me out. Okay, but whatever. Maybe it's been doing this and I'm just now actually realizing it. I don't spend a lot of time looking at myself. So just so you guys know, it's not like I'm looking at myself a whole lot here. I look at the camera. Yeah. You have no thoughts? Since when? Vanessa has no thoughts. Since when? Oh my God, that's hilarious. So that means that you have, that's code for, I can't think of anything positive to say, so I'll just say this. I'm not a fan of Mercury retrograde. Most people aren't. Most people aren't. Dawn is in my camp. Where the heck is Dawn? Where's Dawn? Um, she likes it too. Is Dawn there? She got caught up in something probably. Yeah, I know. She's laughing. Haha. Yeah, exactly. um, yeah, most people don't like Mercury retrograde. Most people go, oh, fuck me. What's this gonna mean? Who's going to circle back in my life that I may not want to see? What shit am I going to lose? What communication is going to fail? How is tech going to be a pain in my ass? That sort of thing. There she is. Hey, Dawn. Hey, loves. There we go. Oh, I wish Leticia was here. Well, to be honest, I never really connected with it. So I just get tired of hearing people saying such and such happens because of the retrograde. Yeah, it's because you're not connecting to it. If you were to connect to it, then you could really feel like be in alignment with all of that. And then there's a lot of positive. But there are some things that can be annoying. But it like I didn't know about Mercury retrograde seriously until like I was like like into my spiritual awakening. I don't even remember hearing of it before, which I know sounds really weird, I guess, but it's interesting how our realities, if we're not meant to be aware of things, it won't come into our consciousness or into our reality for us to pick up on. And there's a lot of really kind of basic things that I found that most likely if I had really picked up on it or heard about it or knew about it, or or I was meant to in my timeline at the time, it would have, set off a chain of events. And so that's probably why I didn't. So that could be part of it. Helps me understand and be patient. At least I was the last retrograde. Very good. I try not to focus on it. Okay, well then there you go. It's not about necessarily focusing on it. It's just being aware of it and connecting with it in a way of like higher in a higher consciousness kind of way, the way that we connect with Gaia as a being, Mercury as a being, and Mercury retrograde having like, I always feel it like, oh, Uncle Mercury is coming to visit. And this is the kind of stuff that happens when he's in town staying with me for a couple 3 weeks. And I can really feel it on that kind of level. And then I connect with Mercury and everything surrounding Mercury as a being, as an uncle, and someone coming in to help me reshape my life for the better by making me clean up stuff I don't really feel like I wouldn't clean up unless he made me, unless he was here forcing the issue, Whether we have people like that for real in our lives or we've seen it in other people's lives, to me, that's relatable. And I can connect to that kind of relationship at this point. And I look forward to, and I find that with Mercury retrograde, and this would be something for you, Vanessa, and other people who don't really connect with this, but especially you being in the Soul Quest program. I absolutely love that, we're starting our 4th week. But this coming in literally for almost the whole rest of the Soul Quest program. And it's the perfect energy for that. It's the perfect, absolute, synchronistic, divinely scheduled time for Mercury retrograde when I was guided to facilitate this and have this and all this stuff going on. So that's another way to connect to it too. This work that you're doing, the Soul Quest program, is about review, is about reconnection to yourself. It is about reconstruction and rebirth. And Mercury retrograde supports all of that in the biggest ways. So again, that's another way to really connect with that. Hey, Karen. So anyway, hi, Karen. Happy Mercury retrograde. So like I was saying, I like Mercury retrograde, even though it can be a little frustrating. I see that again. I just tap in with Uncle Mercury. Like, I love him. He loves me. He helps me organize my shit. He helps me see things I wouldn't see. He helps me. He was helping me I've been in Mercury retrograde energy since Mercury retrograde shadow period started. And that was basically when the Soul Quest program started. Officially, it was like we started the Soul Quest program, and it was about 3 days later, the shadow period of Mercury retrograde started. So, like I said, this Mercury retrograde thing is so in alignment with what we're doing. And because I'm so in alignment with Mercury retrograde, this was all set up this way without me really being conscious of it. Just, it's already kind of baked in. And so, like I was saying, just like Uncle Mercury, he loves me, wants to help me. He's very loving, but he can also be irritating, just like a family member. Like, all right, like, you're grating on my nerves with this shit, whatever it may be. And that might be, misplacing things and tech not working exactly right and things falling through the cracks. And when it comes to Mercury retrograde, it's a really good idea to put off things like surgeries, signing contracts, making serious arrangements, financial decisions, things like that weren't already in play. That just may have popped up or whatever, just because you may not see everything and it may just not be the right time for that. You're just going to have to figure that out for yourself as far as how you might feel about anything like that. But that is one of the things kind of known about Mercury retrograde, or a couple of things known about Mercury retrograde. But mostly, what I spend most of my time thinking about when I'm really, consciously connecting is, just paying attention to everyday life and what's circling back around, who and what, is coming in from the past, what is, kind of checking over. And I can I'm not going to spend our time doing this, but I can think right now about 3 or 4 examples of this Mercury retrograde that just barely started, that's been going on in the shadow period these last couple of weeks, of very specific Mercury retrograde kind of energies, and new moon and solar eclipse. So it's even extra boom, 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 boom. It's like if the firework show normally lasts 15 minutes, it's lasting 90 kind of thing. It's like a lot for the same types of energies. Eclipses bring in from the past and circle back. So this one is going to be affecting us for 6 months forward. The last one's affecting 6 months, forward and backward. And so there's always this like review thing and this reflection thing that happens. And I've come to see it at first, when I first tapped into it and understood what was going on the first few times, I was like, oh, I feel like this is backsliding in some ways. And I found that irritating because I like to go forward and move forward and not backslide. But I came to realize that, oh, this is just making it like the triple check. Like, okay, let's go now, make sure. Let's see what we got going on as far as timelines that are open and loose ends that can be tied off, that can be reformatted, that can be dissolved, that we can create at this time, because now we've got more to work with in these certain things. So it's really great. It's as though like you go, okay, I'm taking this course and I have this project due at the end of the semester or the end of the year, whatever. And it's due on May 1st, let's say. And yeah, it's due on May 1st. And then right before May 1st, your teacher comes and tells you, actually, I wanted you to think it was due today or, May 1st, but it's actually due June 1st. And you have a whole month to really fine tune this project and make it even so much better because you have this time to do this. And it's such a gift. It's such a like, whoa, okay. Like, oh, wow. Like now, like, I was thinking when I was finalizing it that I could do this and I could have done that and da, 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 da. And now I have like all this time I can do that with. And so to me, it's kind of like that kind of energy. It's a nice, like stop and rewind and review and really clean things up for ourselves on every level. And again, like I said, it being Mercury retrograde, how cool that is for the Soul Quest program when we're doing that. So, hey, honey, I have to go sign next week for sale of the home. There you go. Yeah, like that kind of thing. Like that kind of thing. That's like that kind of ending, closing off a timeline loop within Mercury retrograde. It's like classic shit. And just knowing you for the last year, Jeanette, the way Mercury retrogrades have landed on like specific points for you is just like, I can't really think of them specifically right now. But I know that they've been like, and we've talked about it, so we've talked about it all along the way. So it's not news to you. I'm just reminding you that this is typical. Like your whole journey has lined up with so many astrological events that it's, you can't make this shit up, basically. So before we keep moving on here about Mercury retrograde, I want to take a quick little turn and talk about last night's live for the new moon solar eclipse. And, it was really interesting. It was like this interesting in the spirit walk. Because, okay, let me back up a little bit, because I had been like, why was I guided to do this on the 20th and not the 19th? And Dawn and I even talked about it, like would have been better because then it's not back-to-back days, but that wasn't the day I was guided to do it. And then in that spirit walk from last night, and when we got into it, it was like, you see now why I wasn't guided to say it because it was between us, behind the scenes, when it was like, now you see why you weren't guided to do it on the 19th, that whole solar eclipse energy needed to pass through. And then we needed to do the show so we could do the spirit walk and do the work that we did last night, which was super duper freaking off the hook. So, it's one of those that's like, wow, Vanessa mentioned it in our private Soul Quest program forum, like, holy wow, wow, wow. Dawn last night was like, oh, like, wow, no words. Like, I can't. Okay, good night. And I'm like, yeah, basically. Like, it's like, it takes a little bit to process, but it was pretty amazing. I had no idea that was going to happen. So at this time, I'd like to twist your arms a little bit, girls, and see if you want to join me here live on Zoom to talk about last night's live, the Oracle, the spirit walk, how that ties into the spirit, into the soul quest. It's Friday night. I don't feel like rushing through it. I am guided for us to talk about that because it was a really, really big one. Karen goes, yeah, you spoke light language during last night's spirit bond. Yes, I did. It was brief, but I did. I definitely did. It was archangel language. And yeah, it was pretty brief, but it was when all the groups were coming in. It was right at that when that started. So anyway, you guys have the link. It's the same link everywhere, and I meant to grab it earlier. I'm really bad at this. Don't I? Here? No. Where are we? I lost my page. I lost you guys. How lame is that? There we are. Oh my God. I was looking for the wrong icon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so to make it easy, there is the link. Pinned up there. That's this. Yeah, it's the same link. It's always going to be for my lives. It is on my my homepage, and it's on the live events and psychic readings page. It's the same one that will be in any emails. So if I don't put it on here, I will put it on here so you guys can get it really easily. So you can join me live because we are going to, somebody here. Who's here? Vanessa. Hi, love. Ding dong. Ding dong. Because we're going to be talking about this for right now, but we are going to get to readings here. I'm going to be doing yes or no pendulum readings for those that are, want to join me here live on Zoom. And so it's the same procedure. I'm keeping it the same way that I did on Fireside, which is to get a reading. You do need to join me live with your video on, so we can have a conversation and talk. Hi, honey.
Hi.
And so anyway, so that's the deal. And so we'll go from there. Again, thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for joining me, Vanessa. Anybody else that did last night's live and Spirit Walk wants to join me to talk about it.
Where's Dawn?
I know.
Because I nominate you. I nominate you.
Yeah, Dawn, I'm sorry, but hello, where are you?
That's hilarious.
I swear it's like a game of chicken with these girls. And Dawn, just so you know, Vanessa's not she's closer to where you are when it comes to being on stage, and it's not your favorite thing either, is it?
No, but I know that this is something that I have to do, so I'm pushing myself.
Thank
and
you.
not allowing fear to control that. So Dawn,
Yay.
come join me. I really don't like to be seen on camera.
No, she really doesn't. It's really hard. And Dawn's the same way. And so you both have come a really, really long way since you started working with me. So Vanessa did the Evolve Now program with me. She's done the 2022 program. She did the Lionsgate workshop program last year. So and now she's in the Soul Quest. So it's like, once I get you, you're in. At least for most people. So anyway, Jeanette has not done it yet. That's okay. We are going to assume that Dawn is going to join us to discuss, because this is what her and I have not talked about it. So I would like to talk to her about it too, because all she said was like, wow, no words. And I was like, yeah, I know. And my bell was seriously rung. So when did you do it?
Literally right after Dawn sent her message earlier today. And to be honest, when I wrote the comments, it was literally right after I got out. So everything was much more clearer.
Okay.
As hours have passed, a lot of it has faded. Is that normal?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I kind of, but what I could remember is how I felt so liberated, and I felt so close and much more aligned to my soul, where my soul was everything. Like it was just, I don't know. I would just feel like pure light,
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. And I told you on Monday how I struggle doing meditations, but once I get in and this was just awesome.
Awesome. So hopefully this is a turning point. Hopefully because you have what you have going on right now, what Dawn had going on like a week ago, whenever it was. Remember when she was talking, she was just like, with one of those, I think it was a daily. So I'm trying to remember which one. We've done so many recently. But
it was the mental body one, I believe.
Yes, it was the mental body one. Yeah, because it was the one with the hawk. Yeah, that was yeah. So you are, I'm feeling that energy now with you.
That's awesome.
With this one. Yeah. It is awesome. So do you remember, does anything stick out at this point? Do you remember like any particular part? It's okay if you don't. It was a lot. I was trying to do the math, because I literally never go back and like look at like how long was a spirit walk. Like it
was an hour long. I do remember that. And okay. I also did it outside. I was guided to do it outside under the sun. It was kind of like perfect. It was just perfect.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Say that again. I was looking at her.
I was guided to do the thing outside under the sun.
So oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cause it was all this work with the sun and what was coming through the sun. Oh, see, you know what? I don't believe like that. For whatever reason, sweetie, it was blocked to you yesterday for you to be there. Who knows? Like you did it today. And it was exactly how it was supposed to be today. Like, it's just funny how, like I was just saying, like sometimes if you're not supposed to be a part of something, you just won't, like, it won't hit your consciousness for whatever reason. And I think that this is why.
Can I share one other thing that I didn't put in the post? While I was doing it, something magical happened. I saw myself reborn as a white peacock. And
ooh, wow.
And that's exactly how I felt, the purity of that, the alignment, the connection, that exactly is it. Oh, hi, Dawn.
She's coming in. Doesn't say you're muted, but I know you are. There we go. Ask to unmute. That should help. Hi.
Ooh, wow. And that's exactly how I felt, the purity of that. The
we're hearing somebody's video.
Dawn, you have to pause your YouTube.
She's coming in.
What do I have to do?
You have to mute the YouTube feed, because we're hearing YouTube.
Hi.
How do I do that?
Wow. And that's exactly
Go to
how I
You
felt.
can pause the video on YouTube.
Use
Oh, Dawn, you have
Poor thing.
Okay. Shit.
That's what I do. Or I mute it. You can either mute the video on YouTube or pause the video on YouTube. And that way, you know, you don't mute everything.
Did I?
There you go.
sounds like it.
Yeah, you did
Okay,
it.
but I can't find Zoom now.
Oh, click. Do you have an icon at the bottom of your computer or something?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so.
You're fine. I do the same thing. I have a thing on my Mac where I kind of can see all the things open, or else I have a hard time finding it
The
too.
bar at the bottom on mine.
Or
I can hear you guys. I just can't see. So
no, you can minimize your Chrome, and then most likely see what's going on is that the Zoom window
I
is
think I just logged out of YouTube, but that's okay. I'll get back in when we get off.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
Did you find us?
Sorry. I'm here.
Yay! Hi.
Hi.
It's okay. Thanks for being here. You probably didn't hear it because you were Jeanette says Dawn is in Mercury.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
That's hilarious. You probably didn't hear it because you're just coming in, but Vanessa was talking about, can you say that again, sweetheart? So she can hear it, because I don't think she can hear it.
I said the most magical thing happened during the spirit walk. I saw myself being reborn as a white peacock.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
And that's what I felt.
Amazing.
So what I was writing and trying to explain was that, but I didn't realize that when I was writing it to you guys, because I didn't really know what it meant. So I searched it up after, but yeah.
And so what did it say about the white peacock?
Oh, it talks about,
I know I've looked it up before, but I can't remember specifically right now.
It's about awakening, raising self-consciousness, aligning the soul, the body, the mind. It's about purity, consciousness. I said that already. And about being able to move past fears and going into the shadow and uplifting that and bringing that out into the light. So it's kind of all the work that we're doing.
Yeah.
That's
perfect. And like I was saying earlier, Dawn, it was like she has the glow that you had after the mental body spirit walk.
Yeah.
Not that we've talked about this one. I mean, we still have to talk about how this one affected you, but this is reminding me of you, that.
It was.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get into, so what is this is probably one of the ones that we have talked zero about on text or in person or anything, because it was just last night. We've been busy today doing our own thing. So how was this one for you?
It was, I think I heard you say, Vanessa, it gets fuzzy, like it fades into the.
It's like a dream, the way the dreams fade. Yeah. It's even like that for me. And this is why we'll be guided to go back and listen, like do them again. Yeah. But also listen to them without being in that state of mind or traveling like that. So we can consciously remember and really process all that's happened, because when we're in it, it feels, like you'll never forget. And it's so you're in this space, and it's so dynamic and vivid and colorful and energetic and all the things. But we are literally moving our consciousness to another astral plane, another dimension. And so when we come back to this reality and this dimension and this consciousness, there's a lot that it totally dissipates. A few years ago, when I was doing lives every day, and we would do astrals, and they would be, you guys, I shit you not, they would be on average about 2 hours long. And yeah, and I would do a ton of channeling. We would do a ton of energy work with Gaia, for Gaia, with us, with all the everything. Like last night was like one of the like it was not a little different, but on par with the kind of stuff that I was doing on a daily basis a few years ago. And there was so much that would go on and that would be talked about by either Elo or Gaia or any of the archangels, the ascended masters, dragons. I mean, you name it, they would come and start just, talking. And I realized there would be times like I would forget. And then I realized in talking, like, then it was told to me, like, no, everybody else is maybe retaining like 10 to 15%. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah. So then get this, guys, then what we are guided to do. And this was a group of about anywhere between, usually the group was about 8 of us, but it could be a little bit less. But anyway, in that, what we would do is get together in a live before doing that day's spirit walk, and review the day before spirit walk. So we could be conscious of that, talk about it, process it, and then we would go into that days. And then the next day we would do the same thing about that day. And I did that.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You're telling me. So it basically was my life for months. That's what I did. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, I imagine that would be helpful because everybody has their own bits and pieces that
it was very helpful,
clearer. And
we were doing such incredible work that we saw that was just what we needed to do to get the maximum from ourselves, and what was going on and what we were being told about so many things was to not just review it, but review it as a group. And so I would play it, we would talk about it, and that would be live too. So, because there was other people that weren't like actually joining us, that were doing it like behind the screen kind of thing. But there was a decent group of us that weren't, like 8 of us, and we would talk about it. And I would feel there would be about every day, 30 to 40% I would remember, and it came out of my face. So, and my perspective on that and facilitating that and that all going on is definitely different than for other people. And so it was like I said, at that time, I was like, that's when I really understood like how dreamy it is and how easy it is to forget, especially those of you who go so deep that you think you've like fallen asleep, or you like pop up right when it's over and you're like, I don't remember anything like that. It's even more necessary to listen to it in your wake state, because your consciousness, I mean, all the work that was done is valid, but your consciousness isn't, like, it needs that mental body connection to the spiritual body needs to happen so the physical body can engage with everything to the best of the maximum ability that it possibly can. Because in all of these, we do some level of energy work, not only for ourselves, but the collective, for Gaia and beyond. And this was definitely one of them. But anyway, Dawn, when it comes to you, does anything stick out? Like, how you feeling? How was that for you? It
is kind of fuzzy. I just the portal, when the 9 got with the mirror, you said like it was described kind of as a mirror. I was like, it just went. It was really,
that was like when that hit me and I saw that and I was like, whoa, see, none of these people are prepared for this right now. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, we know, that's why we're doing it. And I'm like, oh my God, like, wow. Like it was like, it just like accordioned out, like, I don't know how else to put it. Just, again, it was just so much that was basically like without giving anything away, it connected us to 9 different gateways happening at this time. And I'll leave it at that for those that didn't do it. And all the energy that processed through that coming through here during this time. So anyway, so go ahead.
No, and I just love how everybody was there. Like, everybody. It was just this
massive.
Massive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was, I mean, like I said, we would do ones that involved a lot, like back when we were doing them before, but this was like, and we have done them when everybody's there, but it's not very often that happens. It's not. And literally everybody. Everybody was there. And it was like you have to start thinking, when we're talking about them coming in, it was like I was getting visions, like think stadium size, like capacity, and that doesn't even begin to cover it. And it was like, so our brains can assimilate with the amount of energy that was coming in. And it took a while. I don't remember how long it took, but I know that it was like in stages. It was like, oh, they're here and they're here and they're here and they're here. It was like, whoa. And then like another wave would hit. And then it would be like, now they're here. And then it would happen again. So, and that
you almost started without the dragons.
I did. Yeah. Because it was basically like, it would just come in waves like, oh, and then we're here. And then it would be like, oh, they're here. And then they would come in and there would be this whole like shift in energy and stuff. And then I was like, all right, I guess that's, I was like, wait a second, not done. I'm like, oh my God. And that was, and then it was like, oh, of course. But yeah, it was just like such a surprise party. I don't know how else to put it.
Everything was. Even like the oracle, like I cried. I was crying because I never, about the complaining and stuff. I just, and I just felt sorry for myself. And then I realized, hold on a second, I shouldn't have shame. Like I know better now. And so.
Yeah. It was, gotta say, it was pretty awesome. And if anybody missed it, please go back and watch it. You can do any of the spirit walks at any time. Like Vanessa and I were talking about, she just did it. She blanked out that we had a live last night. She didn't come. I wondered about her, but I'm like, well, I'm not a micromanager. It's like if you're meant to be there, you'll be there. I don't go like, I do the normal reminders in the blanket ways that I do. But I definitely thought of you. I was like, oh, I wonder what she's doing. I hope she's having fun. And I hope she's whatever it is, and then you did it today and you did it out in the sun today. So that was supposed to be your experience. So what I'm saying is, like, anybody that didn't do it yet, please don't feel left out, like you missed anything, because you did not. Whenever you do it, you're going to have, you need to stop.
Is that baby? Baby wants to do it.
That's pretty boy. Now he wants back in the bedroom. Would do him some good to do it. And who knows what goes through his little brain when we're sleeping together at night.
And reading your post today, Vanessa, was just, you could feel just how connected and excited you are. Yeah.
I had no words. I know I used some words, but there was more that I.
We all basically had the same reaction. It was like, I don't even know what to say right now. Because it was such, like I said, a surprise party, and what, from the very beginning to the very, very end, and Mother, Father, God, and all of that gold, that was, to me, was that encasement in that gold. And do you guys remember that? Do you remember that, Dawn?
Yeah. Now that you just said it, yes.
Okay.
See, this
That's
is, I'm
usually
gonna have
how it
to,
works. That's
yeah, I'm
usually
gonna
how
have
it
to,
works. That's how I'll remember. Like it won't be right there for me until somebody says something. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll forget
yeah.
too. So that's how it usually works. That's how people come to understand they weren't really sleeping when we talk about it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
see, you were just so far away from your consciousness that you don't remember that, but you were there, you were doing it. It's trippy shit. It totally is. This astral travel business, it is trippy. And until you do it, it's hard to comprehend what it is, but it's the best way to describe it. It's just magical. It is just absolutely magical. Where we go, what we do, who comes through, what comes through, how it comes through, what it feels like as it's coming through. And it's lots of different things. And it never just feels, oh, I feel warm and tingly. Like it's like I'm so beyond that. And and yesterday was really like, I always feel like it's just so funny for me because I don't know. It's the typical thing. Like I'm not given any forewarning on a lot of this stuff sometimes. And I am just as surprised as you are. I think you guys can tell that by what's going on in my voice and my reaction to things sometimes because and then I'm kind of like, you guys, like, and it's like, nope, you're and it's just funny. It's just, I'm used to it now, for the most part. But yeah, yesterday was very, now that I'm kind of thinking about it and tapping back into it, it was, it was also, I don't know, but another way to put it, magical, but also very mechanical in certain ways. And the way it, like, I kept envisioning, and I don't know, I don't remember if I actually said it, but now thinking about it, it's like that, thinking of a huge clock, a huge timepiece with all the different mechanisms. And it was like that times a bazillion, but just the clicking of things and going into new places and the shifting of energy and everything that was coming through for us to integrate and how intense that is and what Gaia is streaming through right now. And just that rainbow energy was so different as well. So does this ring in bells for you?
Yeah.
That it was like, okay, like it was real. It was like, you really have to see it and feel it and understand it, that there's a whole new, completely different, like top of the line, major high, like vibe and all the encodements and stuff, energies coming through. And in a way that we've never seen before, with this alignment, this nine gate galactic alignment was just like, and it's there. I mean, it's not like it's over. It was just, this is
Till the end of the year, remember?
yeah. Yeah. It was like, this is the thing now. So that was, hey, Kevin. Hello, Wobo. Look at all you. Hi. So anything else you want to share about the spirit walk, or how'd you feel? Well, this is what I'd like to ask you. How was your, well, you're awake. You still haven't gone to sleep yet. So, but were you tired afterwards? Were you hungry afterwards, Vanessa? And you, Dawn, as well?
I guess I was probably hungry. You can say that.
Okay. And Dawn, what about you? It was late for you.
It was late. Yeah, I was actually really tired going into it and thinking,
I'm surprised when you popped up at the end. I was like, she's still there. Oh my
yeah,
goodness. I'm like, okay,
and
good.
normally I'll just like go to sleep, or I'll like, it'll end and I'll just roll over. But this one, I was like, whoop! I was so energized and just, yeah, like
Yeah, I think
I
you
told
and I had
the
a
last time I saw the clock, it was 1:23 a.m. and I was still just, yeah. But it wasn't like, I wasn't like a toss and turn sort of thing. It was just kind of like, yeah, I'm not ready to sleep. Yeah, it was so. But then I
yeah.
fell asleep. But I did sleep late for me. So
Yeah, totally. And it was a long one too. Because
yeah,
the music I was guided to was only a 38-minute track. And I was like, is that going to be enough? It was like, well, regardless, this is the one we're using. So if it needs to go later, you're just going to have to restart it. And I'm like, all right. And so I did. I had to be conscious of that. And we went well into that again, like past the halfway mark. And I'm like, how freaking long are, I mean, but we were doing like, it was so weird. Where I'm at when all this is going on consciously, like, I don't even understand how I do it, to be honest with you. And I'm just saying that's not an ego thing. It's just like, I don't understand, but it works. So, but yeah, for me, I was buzzing, like completely buzzing and very hungry, which is typical. We seriously burning calories and so much energy when we astral travel. I mean, we're not moving barely at all, but the energy that's happening, the energy that's coming off and all that stuff really, really burns some calories.
I need to do that then, because I don't feel like exercising.
What'd you say?
I need to do that then more often, because I don't feel like exercising.
You're so funny. Oh, that's not going to last long. We're getting into the physical body next.
I know. That's going to be the most difficult one for me. Oh, and the emotional is not.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Don't get ahead of yourself. Let's just stay with where we're at. But yeah. But it does. It's like, have you ever heard of like how chess players burn crazy calories when they are in tournaments and stuff? And they're literally just thinking it's because their brain is thinking hard and it's burning calories. And same thing when we're doing meditation, astral work, especially energy work within the astral. Holy shit. Like if I don't go in like on an okay stomach or having eaten, like, so I eat right before we go into our lives, and still it can be 2 hours before we're getting to the spirit walk. By the time I'm done with the spirit walk and the lives, however long that I am like, I haven't eaten in weeks is what it feels like for me. I am so freaking hungry. And so I always have food I eat right up until I'm about to go live. Then I have food ready for me to eat right when I'm out of the live. And then I took some time. It took a while to come down. It's kind of like, to me, it was just like being at a party, like a normal party. Like for me, that's how it is. Like, I just can't be like, okay, party, come home and go right to bed. I've never been able to do that. Like, I'm just like by myself for 3 hours after coming home from a party, because I just like, people like, I went right to bed. I'm like, how nice for you. But I can't. I need to be alone and process and let all that energy go and assimilate back to myself as best before I can ever think about going to sleep. And that's what it was like, because at first I was like, oh, I'm probably going to go, because I was like, I felt so heavy when all that gold encasement came through. I was just like, oh my God, I'm like so heavy now, but in a good way. Like heavy can be good, and in a great way, a beautiful way. And I'm like, oh my God. But then I was hungry. Hungry always beats tired. And so I ate, finally came down. And then all of a sudden it was like, it's like all of a sudden I was injected with a tranquilizer. I went, oh, whoa. Like now, like that it hit me, and I required a lot of sleep. And it didn't even take me that long to wind down. It was only like 8:30 my time when we ended. So I was asleep, I think by 10, the latest. And I didn't get out of bed today till 9. I required a lot of sleep to process this energy that was coming through. I mean, I felt like I weighed a ton, like I was just lead, and I'm like, oh no, like it's not happening. Even though I did wake up at 5 or almost 6. There was no, like, I was like, oh no. And I felt my body just still like processing. So yeah. So how about you, Dawn?
Yeah, I actually got up and did my morning stuff, and then I was like, I'm going to work on the map today, and that was just not happening for me today. I tried to settle in. I ended up writing
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
a little bit, and then I ended up spending the whole day outside.
Yeah.
Like, the
That's
whole
awesome.
day.
Yeah.
So
Really good. That's good. And we were told to get at least 30 minutes to an hour of sunlight, if not more today, if we could, or as soon as we could after the walk, and also some nighttime, some outside at night as well, some moon, even like it was talked, said, I think it was under the dark moon. I think that's what. Yeah. So we're to do that for ourselves as well as soon as we can. Tonight would be good.
yes, can I mention that tonight there's a meteor shower tonight as well for anybody
right.
that
Is
yeah,
it
so that I can't
the Leonids? Is it the Leonids?
Leonid, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yes, yes, yes. And I do believe that us in the Northern Hemisphere can see that. But obviously light pollution will make that difficult. So if you get yourself someplace that it's dark, I think Leonids, you can see up to 15 or 20 an hour, maybe more, which is pretty good. Which is
so that's going to be my nighttime tonight after.
Awesome.
Outside, so.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Okay, so anything else about this spirit walk that you guys would like to share?
No, I think that was it.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys.
I'm looking forward to listening to it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have to do that too. Because it's very, very
very
however we were talking about. It's all that foggy for me too. Because I was thinking about that today and I was just like fascinated by it. It fascinates me that I facilitate it, and in like I try to get in there and remember and like take myself chronologically, and still it's like a lot is missing. It's just kind of the nature of the game, but it does give us the opportunity and the reason to go back and to listen to it again. It's just, I think it's hard for me just because it's my voice. It's weird. I don't like listening to myself or watching myself. It's kind of odd for me. It's a weird thing. But have at it. Have fun, guys. Today's deal, let's see how many. We lost people on, that's fine. I don't know, it looks like we lost some people on YouTube, but today's deal was to do pendulum readings. And so since both of you are with me, would you like to and if anybody else wants a pendulum reading, it's a yes no pendulum reading. If you have a specific question, it could be about anything. It will work with my pendulum. But I am not just going to leave it at yes or no. We'll see what else, comes up or however that goes. This is actually the first time I've ever been guided to do pendulum readings. I used to offer it on a site that I was on. But I've never done live pendulum readings. I've never really showcased my pendulum work before. Oh, there's Jeanette. Sue. Sure. Okay. I should have known that. I'm like, so yeah, if you want to join me to get a reading, just follow the link and come to the live. And we will do readings. And that is, I'm going to put that. Oh, I can't pin that. Can I? Oh, Not sure who's there. Well, it could just maybe us ladies. I don't know who's all here. So one thing with YouTube is I don't know who's here, who's not. It's just a number. And a lot of times I don't think that number is exactly accurate because we've done roll call before and people have said, I'm here. And it's more than the number said. So, let me put this in. So no pressure, I don't want you to feel like you have to or anything, but would either of you want one?
Vanessa, I gotta think of,
Yeah.
I can't think of a yes or no question for me right at this moment.
Okay. I guess I can go. I do have a question.
Oh, there's Jeanette. Let's let Jeanette in. Yeah, I mean, if anything pops up for you, think about it. Hey, love. Here, I'm gonna pin this one. Oh, there
We can't see you, Jeanette, and you're muted.
Hi.
Hi.
There you
look at
are.
her and her
Hi.
background.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you in the bath?
Yes.
Nice. Look
I
at
just put
you.
the top on. I'm like, I can live. I gotta get a little dress, half dressed.
I love it. Yeah, we would do her Evolve Now program. I think it was your Thursday, your Friday meetings. Like
Yeah.
she'd show up she'd be in the tub every single meeting. And it was she, she's efficient. She gets it done. She's a busy lady. She has a lot of shit going on in her life. And I'm like, well, double. She's like, well, and I go, well, do the bath and then we'll do our meeting. And then, sometimes she would get out, she'd be done and she'd be like, hold on, let me get out. She's done. And sometimes she'd stay in there the whole time. Yeah, we would do your spirit walks with you in the tub.
Yeah.
So many times. So many times. So anyway, it's great to see you, sweetheart. You look fantastic. Happy Mercury retrograde. Happy Friday, everybody. So again, if anybody is on YouTube, anybody else that's not here with me live that wants a reading, please go ahead and follow that link. Otherwise, we're going to get to the ladies here, starting with Vanessa. So this is my new pendulum. I showed it yesterday on I can't pick it up without it going nuts already. It's an aquamarine. Let me turn on this light. It's aquamarine little pieces with the copper coil, and it's on this bronze thing with these pretty.
That is beautiful.
Pretty sure these are also. Oh, that one's aquamarine. Excuse me, as well. And these two are clear crystal quartz. Yeah, it's really, really pretty. I love it. It's really responsive. But I've not really worked a lot with it because basically right when I got it was like, oh, this whole thing came about doing this show tonight. So anyway, here we are. I'm going to move this a bit out of my way. Sometimes it gets a little, mommy. Okay, we'll go like that. Yeah, that's good. Is that good? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna move this down. We don't need to see the 5 feet of my forehead anyway, right? No, nobody needs that. Just put it right there. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so just to review everybody, so this is neutral. We're not getting it one way or the other when this happens. And then my counterclockwise will go this way, and that's a yes. And then the opposite is counterclockwise, which is no. Pretty simple how that works. So the idea is ask a very, well, you can tell me what your question is, but it is supposed to be pretty specific and a yes with a yes, no. So,
Okay, I guess I'm having trouble forming my question. It's in relation to my job, a job or a career, because I've
okay.
been looking and I'm trying to do something different than what I was doing before. And
Right, yeah.
I guess I'm just confused as to whether that means that I have to start from scratch and do something completely different, or use what I used to do before, but apply it to a different setting. So, for example, I was a compliance officer in the financial industry. Is it okay for me to be a compliance officer in a non-for-profit, for example, or do I have to be not a compliance officer? So I've been kind of struggling with that. And I've been trying to search for jobs in between, ones that get me excited. And so I guess I've started looking maybe like 2 months ago or so. So I'm just kind of curious to know if that's coming in soon for me. But I know that's not a yes or no question.
That's okay. So I guess the first question this could be, and we can ask it more, we can do a couple of questions here. But the first question that makes sense that's coming through is, should you be a compliance officer in any capacity? Sounds like that's something that would be good to have a definitive on. Mm-hmm. So would, right? Because you don't seem to have, that seems to be a question for you.
Yeah.
Because that seems to, I got it not. I hate knots. Yeah, that seems to be definitely a critical question for you.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if I don't do that, then I'm literally starting from scratch, and then there's a whole bunch of other things that fall into that. Like the pay would be less, like everything would just, versus if I can use the skills that I have, but now instead of trying to make companies money, I can help by providing services to people for the good of the collective. Sorry, my dog's going off.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Okay, so yeah, so do you want to ask that question about the compliance officer thing, like to see what we get there?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. So let me just take a second here. If you can just kind of close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths with me, sweetheart. I want to tap in with your guides and guardians here. Okay. And tap in with your light gate, if you will. That just makes things easier. And like light gate crystals lighting up, all connecting. So connecting to your guardian angel, all of your spirit guides and guardians for clear, loving messages to come through. And if you can what they're guiding me to ask you right now is to think about when it comes to this question for you, in what directions, like where the fear is in either direction with yes or no. If you can think about that, because you mentioned a few things, but if you can think about that and or those things for yes or for no, like what, if the answer is yes here, what about the yes, if anything, scares you? If the answer is no, what about that scares you? Just let's make a mental list here, Vanessa, about those things. And then any way you want to do this, whether it's like crumpling up this list like a piece of paper, or erasing it, or throwing it away, or whatever that you want to do. You want to try to eliminate your energy that's connected to either way, and the fears connected to either answer here. Because you just want the truth.
Yes.
So the truth is the most important thing, and your fears really are irrelevant here. So to open up to the truth is first to acknowledge whatever those fears may be that you can think of, or that come through quickly or right off the top of your head, and then very consciously decide we're going to put those aside. Okay, so the way that we're going to formulate, and if you want to open your eyes, the way we're going to formulate this question, the way that's come to me to formulate this question is to say, is the job of a financial compliance officer in your future timelines? How does that sound? Because then that's very simple. And then if we get a no, then we know no. If we get a yes, then we can dig a little deeper.
Okay.
We can ask that in a different way. Are you meant to be a compliance officer in your future timelines? But it's about really kind of tapping into what, or we can say, is the right choice for you to continue being a compliance officer in any capacity? Are we getting closer? Does that sound better?
I think any capacity might make more sense, because I already know that the financial part makes me not happy, or I don't like it. And it's all about money, 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 and greed. Right. So I think it's more in any capacity.
Okay.
Do you think that with any capacity that would cover both?
Yeah, and like I said, yeah, we can go deeper, but I think it's more about like considering your future timelines, and is that like and asking, because I think it's important that we differentiate, is it part of your future timeline, but is it part of timelines that are the best timelines for you?
Exactly. Like yeah.
That's what we want to know. Is being a compliance officer the best choice for you moving forward? How about that?
Yes. Okay. That's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you for helping me formulate that.
You're welcome. Oh, that goes with the territory. That comes with the territory. We gotta, yeah. But that's totally fine. Okay. So, for our love, Miss Vanessa, is the job of a compliant officer in any capacity the right choice for her and her highest timelines? for her moving forward. We're getting a no. Pretty quickly here.
I got tingles. I'm like cold right now.
Yeah, we're getting a pretty solid no here. Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I'm excited about trying something new. I think the concern with that is that it's going to take longer to find a job. That's
Not necessarily.
I
Not-
hope not. I'm
Not
like,
necessarily. Okay, so now that we have that figured out, and you don't seem very surprised.
I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I'm not surprised, but you definitely don't seem surprised. I wasn't sure what the answer was, to be honest with you. I was just like, let's just see what happens here. I mean, it feels to me like, and it's felt to me for a long time now, that you are to be putting your creative, mental energy, your physical energy, what you invest yourself into needs to be more personal. For you to, on some level, it needs to light you up on some level. And I think that your compromise with yourself about this whole charity thing was like, or whatever nonprofit thing was your way of going, what about if we add a little sprinkle of that? Well, then will it taste good?
Yeah, like I was kind of like hoping that, because I know I want to open my own business and do my own thing, right? But there's an interim, like I'm in the path of doing that and getting ready for that, but I'm not there yet. So what do I do in the meantime? And so I was hoping that sprinkle of what you're talking about is would kind of help cover that. But
yeah, but see this as a real positive, because this means that whatever you're supposed to get to next can happen that much faster, because you're no longer in doing what was part of your past, which means you're ready to move forward probably and get into that faster than, sooner than later. So that's a really great thing. It does leave with like, okay, so then now what? If that's not the answer, no, it's not the answer. That road is closed. Keep going.
I need to make money. So
right. So, so I would say at this point then, and especially with these energies that are coming through right now, I would say whatever ideas that you've had about, well, maybe this or maybe that. We're getting Jeanette back in. That you start now tapping into those timelines and what you may be, what's it. I don't know what she's doing. And what your what those timelines are about, now that this road is closed. So then that frees up a lot of mental space and energy and possibilities for everything else. Right?
Yeah.
So let go of this thing of it's going to take that much longer. I'm not sure why do you think that? Because because at least with the compliance officer, you had more of a specific, and otherwise it's open, like that sort of thing to narrow it down. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. This is the time to just, start working with yourself, your guides and guardians about now what, like, okay, so, that could be, like really thinking about what it is you do in your life, or what it is that you've done or you want to do, the types of things that those are that you enjoy doing, the type of work or the type of activities that you enjoy doing. And and I've done this so many times with so many people, there is always something there that is going to be either, you know, the bridge between point A and point C, that's going to be that B thing in between, that's like, oh, I didn't like, yeah, that. And it's like, once you start pulling on these strings, it'll take you forward, because at this point in your journey, it's super important for you to be in alignment with what you're doing every day, and that you really feel good about it. You've seen and you've lived the other side of that, and it literally drove you crazy and made you sick. Yeah. And you've come a long way to get out of that, a long, long way to get out of that. And there is so many different things that you can, yeah, I feel like now it's just kind of about, you know, more like narrowing down choices, but also just really tapping in with your guides from here on forward about what may come through for you, as far as paying attention to yourself and what, yeah, thinking back, that's what's coming through. It's like, just thinking back, like even the tasks, like separating out the tasks that you did as a compliance officer that maybe, you know, isn't that job, but has components. Cause I know we talked about it before. There's certain components of things there that you like, or you're good at, that, you know, is different than it being the whole job. So maybe.
Yeah, no. And that's what I've been also applying to. It's just that they don't like how much I'm asking for money wise, that I keep getting rejected. So
yeah. Well, it may be time to change the tactics a little bit, maybe split those things up a little bit more, have more smaller projects with people than bigger projects where, you know, the money, you know what I mean? So in the end, it adds up instead of it being a lot, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Just to kind of get the ball rolling, sort of thing. Yeah. And then aside from that, in a whole other direction of stuff, because to me, like, I don't know, even I'm being reminded of way back when you were still in the program with me, and I started to feel things come through for you. It felt very, instead of one job, many jobs. And that you would, you know, that at first that sounds really chaotic and hard to, you know, kind of get a handle on, but that you would actually really like that. And it'd be something, you know, it's like you know, you are your business, that, you know, whatever this is, these projects that you would be doing, but that it wouldn't, basically what I'm saying, that it's not like go from this job to this job, that it's more like I do these things and my job is me, and I have these different projects with different, you know, individuals or companies or whatever. That came through before, and that's kind of coming through again, even in very different capacities. So that could be more like kind of office or financial or whatever, business related. And then like also kind of something completely different, that's not that at all, also being part of the mix. Because there's this thing with variety, and like, okay, it's like this. You've been eating vanilla ice cream like for a long time. And you're like, do I, you know, switch to whatever chocolate? And it's like, okay, that's another singular flavor that's also, you know, like it's fine, but then it's like, it's more that comes through. It's just like, instead of one big bowl of chocolate ice cream, you've got several little teeny tiny bowls with lots of different flavors. And you're like, oh, this is fun. And you get like, you know, like, oh, I can kind of do this and that. And I don't have the pressure of one specific job. And that's just has always come through for you, and it's coming through again. So I don't know if that's, and I don't know exactly what that means. I know that some of it's project related, and then this other thing or things could be like 1 or 2 days a week or something like that, that gets you like in nature, out of the house, or some in a situation that's so totally different, i.e. A garden center, a pet kennel, something like, you see what I'm saying? Like things that you're into that's so totally not what you would do as a full-time job, but something that you would really enjoy doing, would give you a whole new spin on being in the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I have been looking at things from that angle as well. I just need to switch what I've been looking for or at. Because even that, like I did the Upwork stuff, like looking at that, and it just, I think more of what you're saying about, working at the shelter or the garden, like that kind of stuff, hands-on, out in nature, like that would make me really happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a job that's, I mean, you have to also be cognizant of, also what's going on in those environments as well, and how, energetically healthy those can be as well, especially when it comes to the animal stuff. I worked in the vet industry for a really long time, and I didn't realize just how I didn't realize anything at the time. So it was really difficult to process after, but I did it for years. Like in one ways, it really lit me up, and I loved doing it because it helped me learn my communication with animals to the extent that it is now. It was very much training for that, but it was also a lot of stress energy in those environments, from people and from the animals too. Yeah. So anyway, so that's just something to be aware of. But yeah, I would say now though, here's the difference than what it was before. Before you were still like, okay, other job completely different, or a compliance officer in this capacity, maybe not in that capacity. There's just so much going on here, where now it's like, we've eliminated that, road is closed. So now you can focus in this other direction, and whatever is meant for you to magnetize to has much more space to do so. Right.
Yeah.
And that's good. I think that's really, really great. Okay. Are we good? Any other questions or anything for right now?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, sweetheart. Very, very welcome. Okay. Who there? Oh, hello. There she is. Hi. Do you have any thoughts on all of that? You don't have to close. You don't have to shut off your cameras if you don't.
I will, because I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna listen and eat because I'm starving.
All righty. But any thoughts on that? There she is. Any thoughts on either of you for her in any of this that you picked up on? This is an open space.
No, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to change lanes, so to speak.
Wait, you're breaking up there for a second, sweetie. Say that again.
No, this interim time is a really good opportunity to change lanes and see. Definitely. Yeah. And it definitely, it didn't hit you as any surprise either, Vanessa. So it's like, she's like, nope, not surprised. It makes it, on one hand, it makes things a little complicated, but on the other hand, it's like, to me, it's like, oh, this is freedom in a big way to try something, to do different things. Yeah. So that's exciting. Okay. So, Dawn, you ready? Did you think of a question? You don't have to do it if you don't want to, or don't think of anything. I'm going to change gears a little bit. It's a yes or no question, so it's good. I often wondered, and maybe whether or not my dog Paisley is actually Owen reincarnated, a different dog that I used to have.
That you had before.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a good question. So is Paisley reincarnated Owen?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I've got a knot. It bugs me. I gotta like it. I hate it when my pendulums get knotted up. Okay, so let's go here. So is Paisley the reincarnated Owen? Okay. Okay, so we need to do the same thing for you. So if you close your eyes, focus here, kind of create space around you, open up, connect with your light gate. And your guardian angels and spirit guides and guardians. And the essence of your question. And I'm getting the same guidance here for you. So same thing here as with Vanessa. Let's think about your feelings or fears if the answer is yes, or your feelings or fears if the answer is no. Because in the end, we just want the truth here. So let's just process that through. Okay, so getting a lot of this very lovely pink misty energy coming through. And if you can just allow that to come through and just kind of surround you here. It's like cotton candy, like pink cotton candy kind of thing, like very soft and sweet and loving. Very much the energy of like a rose quartz. Okay. All righty. So there we go. That was lovely. How do you feel?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. So question. Okay, that's better now. All right. It's funny. It's kind of like when I start this and we got to do a whole thing, whether it's Oracle or anytime I'm doing anything with somebody, it's like there's just a door that shuts. Like, nope, you got to go. So funny. All right. Okay, we're moving here. All right. So for our dear Dawn wants to know the answer is Paisley Owen reincarnated. Getting a yes here. Pretty strong. Pretty strong yes here. Look at this. Like it was doing that thing where it has a hard time swinging because it starts to lift and fall. You know what I'm talking about? So it did that, but now it's like, okay, here we go. Because it's going from neutral to whenever it goes from neutral to anything. Yeah. So that's a pretty strong yes. And it's getting very strong, much more. It's very, very strong. If I was to do, it would just be horizontal, basically. It's very, very strong. Yes, for you. So let's see here. Hold on a second. Yeah. So yeah, what uh Owen is a reincarnation of another animal from a previous lifetime, and you've been soulmates. You've been reincarnating over and over again. So in your it's 11:11 on my code clock, by the way. um this is a like a real soul family connection that you have with um this wonderful, I mean, I call them persons, people, this wonderful person. And I'm seeing it go back. I mean, it just went back several, like, we can explore that more in the future if you'd like, but this is definitely, I mean, how does this resonate for you?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
If it had been no, I was okay. Like that would have been fighty. She's just another special little
Yeah, for sure.
soul. But no, yeah, she even smells like him. So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
So, and then it's like, obviously there's differences. She has her own personality. She's her own person, but this on a soul-based level, you have this that you definitely repeat with this beautiful soul with you. They're a guardian angel of yours, a healer of yours, a confidant, a friend, a playmate. uh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was amazing and she's pretty amazing. So
That's so great that you have that relationship. And
yeah, after he passed away, it was almost 3 years before she came into my life. I had other dogs too. We have 3 dogs, but yeah, it was just different with her. So.
And how long into having her did you start making that connection?
Oh, probably the moment that I saw her, met her. Yeah. We weren't supposed to get her. We got her brother, and then I went to go see the puppies one day, and it was like, oh no, she's coming home.
Oh yeah, you told me that story.
Yeah.
Story with her. Yeah, I have a similar story with a couple of animals like that too, where it was like not supposed to go that way.
Yeah.
And then it did, and you're like, oh wow. Yeah.
It wasn't at all. But
yeah.
There was no way. There was no denying. Like, yeah, she had to come home with us.
Yeah. That's so awesome. I love that. Yeah, it's like it is kind of like getting, hit with Cupid's arrow when it's like, this just rocked my world. And now everything needs to adjust to that. Aw, that's sweet. Now everything needs to adjust to that, new reality, because we just had this thing happen. And I've had that happen quite a few times with animals.
Yeah.
Quite a few times.
My girls had picked the boy. And so they had already picked him.
Yeah.
And then when I met her, it was
Yeah. Because you were just supposed to get the one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
I couldn't fun in pairs anyway.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I hope that put questions to ease for you if you've been thinking about that. I know you've mentioned it before. You're like, I think this, and then we just we never, did the pendulum thing for it.
Yeah.
So now you know.
Yeah, no, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah, this relationship is just in one way or another going to be with you in your, as you incarnate, you're going to have this relationship. Or this is one of them, but this is definitely, there is your family, your soul family. And that's there's nothing else like soul family. So, so there you go with that, my love. Thank you for
Thank you.
wanting the reading, and that was really fun. All right, Jeanette, my love. Oh, that's you again. You're so funny. We'll see what she's doing. You're so silly. You crack me up. So you're muted. So wait a second. You're muted both places.
Yeah. You know, I like to do two of me.
I know one is not enough. We need two screens to take all of Jeanette.
Okay, that's it. Just one. It's you know, the funniest thing happened to me this week.
Yeah.
One of the days that I took a bath this week, and I had, I have my bath tray,
Yeah.
and I totally forgot, and I had the laptop, and I had my phone on the tray, and I got up, and I remembered it, and I went to empty the shower, came back a few minutes later, I forgot I had left the laptop and the phone, and they sunk in. Both sunk in. My phone survived, my laptop no.
Oh no.
Yeah. So whatever. That would have bothered me in the past.
Upgrade time.
A great time. Yeah.
An upgrade.
Yeah. So I've been using my own laptop, and it's very hard to hear. But but I wanted to get back on my phone.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you great in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
oh man, that sucks.
I don't know. I have the funky background from before. I don't know how to get it out.
No,
but
it's
whatever.
fine. Is that grass? Like, are you supposed to be a little jug and really big grass? I can't really quite.
Yeah,
she's a frog in front of the grass.
Yeah, there you go. Those things
Those
are so funny. We would get into meetings and just totally fuck around, like change.
Oh yeah,
right, we gotta stop now.
I think this is from one of the last times we did. Oh, here, background and effects. Okay. All right, whatever.
Yeah, they're fun. They're here. Well, there's really cool ones on Google Meets too. It's like really. Oh, you can have multiple. There you go.
So. I don't know. This is funny. Oh, I like this. There you go.
There you go. All right.
All right.
Okay, so my dear, what is your question? Or I can help you formulate your question if you're not.
Yeah. Help me.
What is it about?
I wasn't even, obviously I didn't even think about it or come prepared, but I figured it would come to me. Yeah. Actually the last few weeks, I've just been thinking about doing something, obviously not giving up my business, because, it's what I do. It's my bread and butter. And plus it's, whatever. It employs a few people as well, not just myself.
Yeah, true.
But I've been thinking, we may have talked about this in the past, about just not working so much, maybe working 2-3 days a week.
Yeah.
Having somebody help me now that, things are, getting better in my life. Now the question is, okay, so my not free time, but I want to do something to help, something to feel, like, and I've been thinking about, since, Kalani's got this issues socially, I've thought about like a group or forming a center or something where I help, kids come together and I help them socially, because I cannot be the only mom that has a son that has a hard time socially. And there's gotta be more parents out there. Just, I don't know where to find them because, but I thought, I could put something together and help, maybe, I don't know, have some people help me get the kids to socialize, teach them social skills.
Yeah.
Maybe mindful meditation, maybe do some yogas as well. Something to help them grow spiritually, be more mindful, and be social.
Yeah, Kaylani loves meditation.
Yeah.
He was my client too. We did a lot of meditation together. And yeah, I love all that. We've talked about it before. I think it's a fantastic idea at this point with your business, your career, and what you've established to bring somebody else in to, they be you basically, and you go be you somewhere else and do that sort of thing is, I love that. You bring it up a lot. I mean, I always, and in working with you and all the things that I can, see in your future and stuff, I see that as well. I see it being, various support staff and all sorts of different types of activities and really, really socially, spiritually, energetically, progressive and important and life-changing, all of those things. I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah. Okay. So with that, when it comes down to a question, what's the question?
So the question could be, I don't know, if it's something, I don't know if it like, I mean, I cannot just do it from one day to the other. So I don't know if it's something that I know it's in my future, but if it's something that it's 2023 or there's other things need to, happen, or in 2024, is there something, other direction or other work? Because I've also started doing charity work, like helping, maybe a big brothers or big sisters, or maybe like a homeless, or, just feel like I'm like more useful, or like more service than counting in taxes. I just got out of taxes, and yeah.
She's in the Leticia Vanessa Dawn lane of leaving her old work behind. There's definitely a theme that goes on around here. And yeah, so okay, so it's more about, so it's not a question, is it a question of, so to narrow it down, because the timing thing, that's not necessarily a yes or no answer, and timelines and timing gets really, really dicey. When I'm just doing psychic work and what comes through, I'll get more kind of like, time periods, and it's never anything too far out usually, because there's so many things that are in flux. So let's think about, let's reverse engineer this, because it needs to be clear. The clarity of the question is really important when it comes to pendulum and just what we bring through. So, well, the first step, I'm being reminded now, is I'm seeing this person that needs to be in play first, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put everything that would happen after that aside, and let's focus on this person. So one step at a time.
Okay.
Like you said, it's not like you're just going to leave your business. Like you have a thing established, and that's going to, put food on the table, basically. It's what you got going on. You've worked very hard for a really long time. Yeah. So it's definitely not meant to leave it completely. But to bring somebody else in is definitely like, that's the trap door, right? So, so when we think about that, as far as moving on and how thing goes from there, then there we can say, is this year, we can ask this question. If it doesn't want to give us the answer, we'll just get a neutral. So we can try. Is
Okay.
this year of 2023 the year that you have that you hire what would that person be? Another CPA?
Yeah, another CPA. Mhm.
Yeah, that you
Yeah, it
hire
has to be.
another CPA.
Yeah, it has to be a CPA. If they're gonna be taking over more or less what I do, yeah, it has to be a
Right.
CPA.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, so that they would so is this the year to hire that you will be hiring another CPA? Does that sound right?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's do
A
that.
certified public accountant, not a certified pain in the ass.
Okay, yes, very, of course. Of course. We're going to be talking about not only, that you hire, I mean, we've talked about this before. We were just not there yet because you've been busy. Let's face it. You've been busy to get it's like the storm is coming to a close and you're going to have the space, mental capacity to do, bring another person to shift everything that's going on. It's going to take some time, obviously.
Mhm.
But we also talked about how that it's like you said, that it's a CPA, it's a person that is going to be perfect to, in alignment with you energetically, spiritually, all those things, but also going to bring a lot of value. So, is the timing right in 2023? Is that person that's meant for you ready? Are you ready in 2023 to bring this all together? Because it's just like any other union. It's like readiness is such a big factor. And to me, that's part of the importance of this answer for you is 2023 the time that you bring on this dynamic CPA that's going to bring, so much value that, it's going to be really fruitful for you, really in alignment for you, that you're going to feel trust and faith and comfortable with this person, going to jive and all those good things. So I want you to think about that. So close your eyes. We've got our question. I want you to think about that. As we tap in with your guides and guardians, your guardian angel, and just take a couple of deep breaths, thinking about this space for yourself, getting this information and what you want to know. Is this the year? Is this the time for something like that to come into play? Basically, is that in your highest possible timelines for this year, or not? And again, same thing as before. Think about if the answer is yes, and any fears or apprehensions, resistance you have against around that. And then same thing with no. If the answer is no, any fears or resistance you may have about that, any feelings, one way or the other that you may have around that. And to very intentionally with your energy, set those aside and just open the doors for the truth to come in and whatever extra information we'll get from this answer. So the way I see this is kind of like you standing there with a tray, empty tray, and you receiving the information as a gift. And this is what it is. And then you're going to kind of assimilate accordingly in a very open way. And what's coming through with you right now is just a lot of sparkles, a lot of glittery, sparkly energy surrounding you. Almost like very diamond-like energy, sort of thing. It's almost, ooh, this is fancy. This is almost like a queen's like cape kind of thing, but it's like literally like the energy of diamonds, and it's just like very like royal and regal and rich and prosperous energy coming in here surrounding this question. what's new? I swear she gets like pots of gold and like the stuff that comes through for Jeanette when it comes to this stuff. It's just off the hook. So this is right on par. Seriously, I just you're just there with this big old smile on your face and just literally covered in diamonds and just being like, yeah. And that's just, but you're also like what you just demonstrated before when you talked about this stuff. It's like how giving and how generous you are and how much you want to give. So this is you just, you're so great. And I wish I could duplicate this for other people, but let's just keep going here. Like, because what is here is you bring it into you because you're so generous with it, just flowing right out. Your spirit is just about bringing in the wealth and the prosperity and the stable energies of anything that has to do with finances and of course your CPA and just flowing that out. Really healing the money wound, healing any kind of, being in discomfort, that sort of thing. So all of that is just coming. It's just so strong right now. Holy moly, it's making me warm. Whew. Let's see if there's anything else here while we're here. No, it's just like gold coins all over the floor. All right, this is obnoxious. Let's move on. I swear to God.
Jeanette, do you want to adopt me?
Seriously, she does want to adopt a girl.
I do,
Hi, Mama.
right? I do. I want a little girl.
I am younger, so I'm little.
God, I'm dying right now. That is freaking hilarious. No, but seriously, this is a theme that this kind of shit goes on all the time with her, all the time. It's literally rainbows, pots of gold like showers.
It's just beautiful.
I've never seen anything like it. It's amazing. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Cause it's so, there's nothing grotesque about it, if that makes sense. It's so pure. It's so beautiful. It's so prosperous. It's so abundant. It's so giving and charitable and beautiful that it's just like, yes, more of that, more. We need so much more of that in the world. And this lady right here is just, that's what she is. I love it. Like literally, she has the Midas touch. She does. You ever heard of that? That's this lady, right? Midas touch.
Do you want to touch me?
Yeah. She decides I'm putting my effort and energy into this. I'm investing. Boom.
Yeah, that's awesome.
More money comes out of that. Then definitely. So anyway, all right, let's do this. Whew. That was fun. I'm all tingly. I'm very tingly. That was so cool. I loved doing energy.
Sorry to interrupt, but last year was probably one of those hardest years and one of the best years I've had. My work with Infiniti, I mean, it's really been magical.
Aww.
It really has. I mean, dealing with this man was another story. It was like two different things. So I think back of last year, I think of the healing week, I think of our meetings, I think of everything we went through.
Oh, honey.
It's great. But at the same time, then I had this other part of my head that was but so I go back to last year. It's like it was one of the best years I've had. Because I made a huge choice in my life. I made a huge step. It was a great thing spiritually for me as well. I had a great experience with Infiniti. I had all these magical meetings, all these spirit works that we did, or like you said, the rainbows, my dad, my brother. I mean, it was just Archangel. It was just amazing. It was just, really. I mean, I have can't help it. Yeah. So thank you so.
Oh, thank you, honey. That means so much to me. Boy, man, quite the journey you've been on in 1 year. Both of us, we, it's our connection, our journey together and our work together and what you've accomplished and how, all the growth, and and really it's just so magical knowing you and working with you. I love you so much. And I love seeing you where you are now. And there's just like the possibilities are endless, and what you're going to create and be a part of. I just am lucky to be part of the audience, you know, to witness it, to watch, because you barely just started and you've already done so much at the same time. So anyway, but thank you for saying all that. I appreciate it, honey. But yeah, that was that little energy thing we did. The little was just a peek into the stuff that we would do all the time when she was in her program with me. So yeah, but it was, yeah, very, very awesome work we would do. So anyway, okay, you ready for this?
Another question, yes.
Okay, so what we're gonna ask, very specific, and now I'm so warm, I need to get this heater off because I can't, like, it just got so warm.
I was too. I had to take my sweater off.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That energy that
You make us hot, Jeanette.
yeah, the energy that she comes in with her is like, it is pretty hot. It's spicy. It is spicy and it's
When you
hot.
were saying all that, I imagined her as a little leprechaun throwing little coins out of the
Yeah, like the visions that I always get with her is literally like pots of gold that she would sit in. There would be these visions of her in massive pots of gold, like her in the bath, but a big like pot of gold and just filled with gold, overflowing, more gold coming in, and just rainbows and all and it would in all sorts of different ways again and again and again and again. This time, I think we've seen diamonds before, but this time, this was like really like you had this whole like thing going on. It was really awesome, really beautiful. Okay, so. All right, so with this question we are asking is 2023, is the timing right in 2023 to bring in a new dynamical magical CPA as you move forward? Right? Is that right? Yes. Okay. All right, so that's what we're asking is 2023 the right year, the right timeline, to bring in another CPA for Jeanette for her business as she moves forward. All right, it's really, okay, getting a really strong no here. So no.
Okay.
So, which makes sense, actually. Just because there's still a bit of settling in and rearranging and making decisions and certain things on certain levels in 2023, which makes sense. And that while there is a definite timeline there for that and what that's going to, bring, there's also a lot of time, energy, and focus when somebody like that comes in, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, that does make sense. Let's see about 2024. Would you like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Same question for 2024. So same questions, divine guides and guardians. Jeanette wants to know, okay, so not for 2023. How about a new CPA in the mix, dynamic, magical, for 2024? Oh, look at that. A quick yes. So not too far off. We're getting a yes, really strong yes in 2024. Yeah. So that'll get here like that. So you could put that aside for now. Focus on settling in, getting things.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a new office too. So I'm gonna get an office for her.
There you go.
For me,
yeah.
The office isn't here. No, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also hearing.
I'm moving. I'm moving.
Nice. Nice. And I'm also feeling here, and we've talked about this before, but it's coming in really, really strongly. There's a good amount of like, you've cleaned up, you're working on cleaning up, and you've cleaned up a lot in the personal life. Now it's like, okay, now that that's going to settle in, you can work on cleaning up a lot in the business life. And, which means eliminating more clients, kind of, maybe a rebranding is in order. You're going to get new offices. So there's a lot of decisions.
New name. New everything.
Huh?
New name, new company.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of decisions.
I'm cutting off all ties.
There you go. Perfect. There's a lot of decisions to be made about this whole thing with you and your business and the energy of it that's going to shift and change, and how you're going to show up to magnetize this person in 2024, and all your clients and everybody else, obviously. So, and who's really meant to be with you on that journey, this new branding, this new Jeanette in your new, we have talked about it before, just a whole different feel, whole different caliber of client, and all of that, and work for you in a different capacity with your business and all of that. So to me, this makes sense. No in 23, but yes in 24. Yeah. That seems like it's right there. So good. So any other questions with that?
No, it's perfect. And it feels right too. You know, it might feel like 2023, even though I want things to move along, there's still things that need to happen before, like you said.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a few things that need to happen, and then they're gonna happen.
Yeah, things are still settling in and shifting and changing. Things have not like the train's still moving. You know, the train is still moving right now, but definitely closer to the station to stop, you know, but it is still moving a bit for a while. And also what I'm being reminded too, not only obviously in the Soul Quest program, that is going to help a lot with.
I'll be right there. Sorry.
That's okay. It's going to help a lot with these transitions. And then there's the identity part and the spirit name part. I really feel like that's going to really, really inspire and motivate you and connect you in ways to your new business on a whole other level. Like I see that really, really strongly. Yeah.
Kailani, I'll be right there. Hold on.
Hi, Kailani.
Okay, well, you don't need me to go to the bathroom. Seriously,
Mommy, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that, Mommy.
I gotta go, Popo. Seriously. Oh.
I'm already trained. You don't need to do that for me.
Yeah, he's funny trained too. He's 8.5. He's almost 9. So he doesn't need.
Oh my God, Vanessa kills me. Oh my God. She's she absolutely kills me. Oh, you're funny too, Kailani. And okay, but obviously he needs you, so we don't want to keep you, but let you go and give him my love, hugs and kisses to Kailani and to you, my sweet. It was so great seeing your face tonight, and I hope that this helped organize things for you a little bit.
Yes.
For you. Good.
Yes, thank you.
All righty. And I guess that's it, loves. For tonight. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing. This is basically like a little bit like a second meeting for us this week, and with a little twist. So thank you all for so thank you all. And again, as a reminder, there is the meteor shower going on right now. So if you take yourself outside for a while, get into some of that, the dark mood with the energies of the Leonids. And again, the Leonids are from the constellation of Leo. So that's the Leo energy coming through with this shower, which is really awesome, giving us strength, giving us courage to expand our energies. I love this shower a lot. And with that said, I'm being reminded of, I'll leave you with this. This is one of my prized possessions. Look at this, is the back of it. Look at the flash on this labradorite.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that, and
That's
this is
beautiful.
what I
Yeah.
consider the back. Maybe that's too much, but in any way, this is the front.
Oh, wow.
And we have here, maybe that's too bright. On this side, the lion, wait, where am I? On this side, the lion, you can see his,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
there's his eye.
Mhm.
And then on this side, we have the lioness. She's a little bit harder to see, but they're both.
Oh, I can see her.
Can you see her?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Isn't that amazing? I love this
Yes.
so much. I have so many crystals that have lines. I have another one here. Look at this one. This is a clear crystal quartz. Look at this. Like, it's too bright. Like, this is like his hair and his eyes are
Right.
like right here. And that's like in it. And then his jaw's down here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And then I have another one. I'm gonna go get it because it's pretty awesome. And then we'll say goodbye. Let me show you. Oh my god, this thing is big. This one's heavy. I even have a couple more, but oh, this is a clear crystal. It's the point isn't exactly there anymore. It wasn't from when I got it, but this is a clear crystal.
That's massive.
It's really big and it's really heavy. And it's kind of hard, depending on the light here. There's a whole lion face right here. Let me see if turning this off. And oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
Oh, I see it.
Wait,
Oh,
let me
that's
see
awesome.
it. His mouth is right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
His nose is right here. His eyes. Yeah. Right.
Nice.
Pretty awesome, huh? Oh, anyway, I am a Leo. I definitely connect with the Leonids and the Lyrians and all that good stuff. And it's just a thing. I just get crystals with lions in them. It's freaking awesome. So anyway, with that said, go connect, everyone. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. A reminder, the new podcast came out today. And again, that was a lot of fun. So whenever you guys are ready for that, I hope you all have a beautiful weekend, magical weekend, finishing up your map, the emotional body map. What did you say? Vanessa?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Thought you did.
John
Okay.
did.
Ah, okay. All right, loves. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.
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 Bye. See you Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.